Hi, everybody. Um, Looks like it's loading. Hopefully, this is going to work. We're in the middle of a storm, so I'm not entirely sure how the Wi-Fi is going here today, but I hope you're all well. You can kind of see the rain behind me, probably. Um, you're in your final week of high school. Um, so you all know that this Friday is the last day to assign anything new. Um, Everything needs to be turned in by May 12th, which I want to say is next Wednesday. Um, just kind of a heads up for you. I am going to continue communicating with you through Google Classroom. So, like on May 12th, don't suddenly say, oh, I'm no longer a Lancer and delete all that stuff because you got through May 19th to take the test. May 19th comes around, delete me, forget I ever existed. No, that would make me sad. Don't do that. But you can stop checking that stuff then. But please continue to check your email and your Google Classroom until all of this is over, until May 19th, please. So what I want to do today is I want to go over the AP Psychology Testing Guide. I think they may have sent it to you today, but they gave it to us last week. I did a little webinar, which was super exciting. And I'm just going to go over an abbreviated version of what they went through with us. I'm going to go through it kind of quickly because I'm also going to send you this, what's it called, a PowerPoint, so that you can kind of go through at your own pace. On today's classroom posting, you'll also see that I gave you a checklist. I want everybody to print that checklist and complete it because you're going to want that piece of paper next to you while you take the test, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So you've got 2 weeks till the test, not even, less than 2 weeks, right? Is that right? No, 2 weeks, I guess. Exactly 2 weeks till the test. So keep looking at the review um, videos that I give you, complete the worksheet that I give you, and then I'm also tomorrow going to give you what's called a cram packet. The cram packet is just going to have tons and tons of information in it from the entire semester or school year, I should say, and it is something that you can have with you when you take the test. So I'm going to go over all that in a little bit. So here on this first slide, you see that there is a link here where you can get the whole 51-page PowerPoint that they did for us. Yuck, but go for it if you really think you want to, and if my explanation isn't enough. Okay. First, do you know when your AP test is? I mean, if not, I'm going to hurt you. It is May 19th at 1 p.m. Now, I know my little tardy people that like to come in at the bell. You actually have to check into the AP exam at 12:30. So if you like keep a little calendar or whatever, write that the test is at 12:30 because you need to check in at 12:30 because there's a series of security questions you're going to answer because they have to verify that the right person is taking the test. They actually have you write a couple things so that when you submit your essays, they compare it to make sure the same person wrote the whole test. And again, I'll cover that in a few minutes. Exam scores will come out to you on July 15th. And you guys are familiar with how to get scores through College Board because you've done it for years now. But there is a June test date. It's a makeup test date. But they're only letting you take that if you had tech problems during the May test date. Steps to prepare for the test. And I'm going to go over these in detail in the coming slides. Decide which device you will be using to take your test. I'm going to tell you, I did this whole webinar, use a laptop or a desktop. If you're like, nope, all I have is a phone, email me, let me know. I will get you a Chromebook from Belleville East. Your life will be so much easier if you have a laptop or a desktop. I would not recommend using a phone or an iPad, although they are usable for this test. I just think it's going to be easier. There is also the option that you can handwrite the test, take pictures of each page separately, and then submit those pictures. But again, why not just use a laptop or a desktop? Check your email and make sure you're receiving the correspondence from College Board regarding the AP exam. You should actually have gotten something on May 4th on Monday that is confirming what test you're signed up for. You should also log into the My AP website, which you guys have all been on before. It's where the AP Classroom is. And make sure your email settings are correct so that you are receiving the necessary emails. And then there's a practice demo that is available as of today. Well, today's Monday. I'm doing this the day before, to ensure that your device is compatible with the AP program. I am going to put that demo link on the website for tomorrow. So on Wednesday, I want every single one of you, your homework is going to be to take that demo. Again, I'll go over those in a minute. So which of the following 3 ways will you take your test? You can do it with a desktop or a laptop, and then what you'll do is you'll open up the browser that gives you the questions. That'll stay open, and then you'll open up Google Docs. So you'll have 2 windows open, the browser, which tells you the question, and then you'll be typing into Google Docs. And then what you do is you highlight it all, copy, and then you paste it into the box on the browser for AP. It doesn't let you type directly onto the browser. I don't know what the reasoning is for that, but it is very clear that it doesn't. You could then also, if you wanted to, you could do it in Microsoft Word, or you can do it in Docs and then attach it as an attachment onto the browser. Or, as I said, you could do a handwritten response. I would argue the easiest thing to do is to open up a Google Doc, highlight, copy, paste, done. Super, super easy, right? So decide which one you're going to be more comfortable with. I feel like you guys are a copy and paste group. You're used to Google Docs. So option 1, copy and paste a typed response and then click submit. So this is the best device to use if you're doing this is a laptop or a desktop computer. Type your response in Google Docs. Probably for all of you, what's nice about Google Docs is it continuously saves your work. If for whatever reason you decide you want Microsoft Word or Notes, keep saving your work as you go. You're going to type your AP ID and your initials at the top of your response. I'm going to tell you in a future slide, but I'm going to tell you again, what you should do a few days before the test is you should go ahead and set up those Google Docs with your AP ID and your initials, and then maybe response 1 and response 2, and set them up so that that day they're all set and ready to go. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, you're going to copy and paste your response into the space indicated, and then you just click submit. So in the test, as you're taking it, there's a clock up in the corner, and when it hits, so you've got 25 minutes. When it hits the 5-minute mark, that's it'll turn red, and that's the indication that it's time to submit. Now, can you keep typing your answer for those 5 minutes? You can. But what if you don't get that submitted in time? What if you don't get it copied and pasted and placed in there in time? Then your response doesn't count at all. If the 25 minutes runs out and you haven't submitted your answer, you get 0, okay? Even if you don't fully get through the entire question and you submit what you have, you still have the opportunity to get a 5. So understand that on this test, what they're doing, especially this year, they said, is they're going to make the questions very heavy, which sounds daunting, but it's not. They're going to stuff it with a lot of material to give you the opportunity to show them as much as you know as possible. So it actually works in your favor the more they put in it. So don't let it freak you out when you're taking the test that there's stuff that you might not be familiar with. Answer the stuff you know absolutely first. And then as you're taking the test, if you see that there's some stuff that you have time to maybe look up, then do that, okay? And I'll go over how you can do that a little bit later. So it says here on this screen, it says the exam setup is you would have side-by-side windows. Window 1 would be opened with Chrome. You want to use Chrome if you can, or Firefox or Safari. And it'll display this, pardon me, it'll display the test questions, the display timer, and then you can use to copy and paste your response. Okay, the other option is to attach a document and then click submit. Again, this is best for a laptop or a desktop computer. You would use everything pretty much the same way, except you would save your document in one of the accepted files there, which is doc, docx, PDF, text, or ODT, which I don't know what that is. Again, you would type your AP ID and initials at the top of the response. You'd have your 5 minutes remaining. If this is what you're doing, you absolutely need to make sure you use all 5 minutes to upload the response. If your exam has 2 questions, you must create, save, attach, and submit 2 separate documents, one for each question. And then again, exam day, what did I do? Exam day setup, you'll have side-by-side windows. And then the last one, You're going to attach photos of handwritten response and then click submit. This is best if you're using a smartphone or a tablet. You would write your APID, initials, and page number at the top of each page of the response. You can have no more than 5 pages per question. So you would have 5 white lined pages for question 1, 5 white lined pages for question 2. Handwrite them with very dark with a pen or pencil. I would say not a pencil, use a pen. And then when the timer has 5 minutes, you would start taking photos of each picture separately in vertical orientation, and then you would upload them one by one, okay, before you click submit. Again, that's going to take the full 5 minutes for sure. And you have to upload them in PNG, JPEG, or JPG. And those are your choices. Again, use the first choice. And if you don't think you have the materials to do it, contact me. I will get it for you. All right. So what College Board wants you to do now? First, confirm your email address. Sign in to MyAP, which is myap.collegeboard.org. Get in there, confirm your email. You'll click your profile at the top right-hand corner, go to account settings and confirm that your email address is the one you want to use for your e-ticket. I'll explain your e-ticket in a minute. If you need to change your email address, click update, and then in subscriptions, confirm that you've checked the box that says that you're going to receive updates from College Board. If you haven't been receiving updates from College Board, it's probably because you don't have that box checked. What's next? So on May 4th, yesterday for you when you hear me, you should receive a confirmation email telling you what tests you are registered for. Some of you are taking a couple. Some of you, it might just be mine, which makes me feel special. You're going to prepare your Google Docs prior to test day with your ID number and your and the response, and I'll explain that in just a minute, because your ID number is not your school ID. It's going to be an ID that they're assigning you. And then 2 days before the test, on May 17th, you will receive your e-ticket that you will need to access the test on May 19th. Checklist. You're going to print the checklist I've posted on Classroom and complete it and have it with you when you test. So here's what all this means. Your AP exam e-ticket. Again, you'll get it on May 17th. Each e-ticket is personalized for you and is not transferable. So don't share your e-ticket with anyone. You could lose your chance to test. It also includes an AP ID. You must have both to test. So you're going to save your May e-ticket email in case you need to request a makeup exam for June. So you'll get that, and that is how you're going to enter the exam on test day. Your e-ticket will have something, you click on it, and it'll take you into the browser and give you the security questions, and then it'll take you to where you're going to test. So that's going to be hugely important. When you get that e-ticket 2 days before the exam, that's when you'll get that AP ID, and you can make your Google Docs ahead of time. Let's see. You're going to choose your device. Check that you have the appropriate device for your exam and how you're planning to create a response. Guys, do not show up May 19th and go, I think I'll use this computer. Tomorrow, you have to take the demo. We want to make sure, because this is a different type of testing that you're used to. You want to calm your nerves and be as confident going into this so you can focus on the content and not the tech, right? So make sure that you take this time on Wednesday to take the device you plan on using and try the demo. If the demo doesn't work, that means we got to do something about your device. Okay. One of the things that could be a problem on your device is if you have Grammarly plug in or whatever that is on your computer, you'll need to remove it. You're not allowed to use that on the test. So you just turn off that plugin. And if you don't know how to do that, Mr. Nesbitt's probably the guy to talk to, or Josh, you probably know how to do it. Talk to Josh. Option 1, prepare your documents for typing. Before test day, prepare your docs by typing your APID and initials at the top and then saving 2 documents for each exam in a clearly labeled folder on your computer. That's going to make your life easy. You open up those documents, and then when you go into the browser, boom, everything's ready and you can utilize all 25 minutes, okay? If you're using a cloud document like Google Docs and want to attach your document rather than copy and paste, remember that you'll need to download your response in one of the approved formats and save it to your device. Again, I don't know why you would take that extra step and that extra time. Just copy and paste it, man. But again, you have to have something copied and pasted in there. Even if you type the whole beautiful document and you run out of time and the time goes off and you haven't submitted, it's like you never took the test. So use those 5 minutes. Don't worry, I'm going to send you more videos about this later. Maybe. Name them clearly so you know you're attaching the right one at the right time. For example, AP Psych question 1 and AP Psych question 2. All right? I think you guys know how to do that stuff. Option 2, prepare your documents for handwriting. I think I've already gone over this. Use white paper, standard size, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So the maximum number of pages you can attach per question is 5. And there you go. Homework. This is tomorrow's homework. You're going to use the AP 2020 exam demo to practice and test your tech. Now, some of you are saying, how are you going to be able to check this? I'm not. All right. You're grown-ups. You know that you need to do this so that you don't have a mental meltdown on May 19th. You guys know that what can go wrong will with technology. So the more familiar you are with the program you're using, the better. Going into a test day, having never looked at the program they're asking you to use, is academic suicide. Boy, was that dramatic. So make sure that you please just do this. It's not going to take you long. It's not like you're taking a fake test. They're just having you go through so you're familiar with the formatting. And honestly, guys, it will make you go, and it's really not a lot of stuff you're unfamiliar with, okay? It'll allow you to practice the different ways to submit your responses. If you can't connect to this demo from your planned testing advice, you'll not be able to access the real exam on test day. If your device does not work on the demo, email me and you and I will troubleshoot that together. I'm happy to help. What to expect on exam day. Here's what you're going to need. You need your exam e-ticket email, so you're going to have access to that. Completed exam day checklist, including the AP ID, which I will give you. The checklist is on there today. Your device, your laptop, tablet, smartphone, laptop, desktop, one of those two. Am I repeating myself? Good. Browser, use Chrome. Internet or cellular connection. If you know that your internet sucks, it's just, you're just not confident it's going to work for you for the duration of the exam, let me know. We will find a way to get you better internet connectivity if necessary. As some of you have heard, we do have buses with Wi-Fi that we're parking in certain neighborhoods. I might even be able to get you to go to a testing room where you're on your own on campus and do it there. So if that's going to be a problem for you, let me know. Required for typed responses. You see that that's all there. And permitted items to have in front of you. You can have your notes, you can have your cram packet, you can have your textbook. That is all fair game this year. Now, here's the thing. The questions are set up so that you shouldn't need them. Again, answer the stuff you for sure know first, and then if you have time, then look up the other things. Don't waste a bunch of time looking stuff up. You know this stuff. You guys really do. Oh, and by the way, don't freak out on the test. They told us this in the webinar. If you come across something, you're like, oh my gosh, Horner never taught us that. I mean, there's going to be stuff that you're going to be like, I swear Horner's never told us this. And you may very well be right. They purposely put stuff like that on it because they want to see if you can take the information you had from other stuff that was covered and reason your way to applying it to the stuff that they're throwing at you that's novel and unfamiliar. It sounds cruel, but you know that that's the way that you differentiate between the men and the boys, right? To figure out who's got that just step up level of understanding. If you can't answer those questions, you can still get a 5. So remember, guys, we're not aiming for 3s. You guys are aiming for 5s. You guys are smart. I know you can do it. Okay, so your testing environment, do your best to test yourself in a quiet room. Guys, do not have your cell phone next to you dinging and Snapchatting and blinging or whatever else it does. Get it away from you. You do not need your cell phone. Don't Google stuff. First of all, you guys know that there's like 5th graders out there posting stuff as if it's correct information. Googling is going to send you to places that might not have accurate information, and you may inadvertently, because you're getting information directly from there, plagiarize. And they're going to be putting your questions and your answers through all these plagiarism things. So it is best if you stay off Google. Use your notes, use your textbook, whatever you feel like you need to do. Get the heck out of there. So I would say if you have access to a desk and a quiet room, use it. Maybe if your parents have an office, you can go and do it there. Let your parents, your siblings, your friends know to leave you the heck alone. It's only 45 minutes, for God's sakes. Make sure your device is plugged in so it doesn't die while you're testing. Also, another little trick that we have learned at our house over this time is if you've got limited bandwidth, ask others on your network to stay off the internet during that time. When I do my Zoom calls and stuff, I turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone. I ask my children and my spouse to turn all their stuff off. There's just a lot of things that can all suck from the same Wi-Fi. And have your checklist and any required documents next to you, okay? The following resources can be used, either printed or digital. Don't have digital stuff out. Print, 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 so that you're not seeing Snapchat notifications. Have your class notes or study guides, textbooks and other classroom resources, previous assignments or assessments. I would keep it simple, man. Put your cram packet out that I'm going to give you tomorrow. Note, shared study notes must be downloaded to each student's device to prevent collaboration violations. So they are going to be checking on social media sites to make sure that kids aren't collaborating across social media during this time. Again, keep your phone away from you so that you don't inadvertently do something stupid that then makes it look like you were cheating. Because I think I've mentioned this already. If you are caught cheating or accused of cheating, they're sending that information to any schools that you have sent your SAT, PSAT scores to. So it's probably a school you got into. Internet searches will waste time and put you at risk of plagiarism. I think I already said this. Copying from websites, social media, or forums is considered plagiarism. When they find out, scores will be canceled, and they're also contacting colleges. Exam security. Students' exams will be scanned for plagiarism. All of that will be shared directly with your teachers. So teachers are going to be looking at exams to make sure it's actually your writing. As many FRQs as you guys have written for us, we can tell when it's your writing and when it's not. Students found violating exam security will face severe consequences, which can include having their names reported to college admissions and AP scores canceled. No score is worth your reputation, right? If you're taking the test and you're like, dude, I think I got a 2 coming at me, then get the 2, right? Don't get a big black mark on your reputation. You guys are all wonderful people and wonderful students. Have confidence that what you're doing is actually a 3 or higher worthy. You may be taking the test and you may be 100% sure that you are failing it. And when you get your results, you will be 100% shocked that you got a 4 on the test. I cannot tell you how many people I know that walk out of that test saying I got a 2 and they get a 4. So have a little swagger, have a little confidence. So 30 minutes before the start time for your exam, check in by clicking the specific e-ticket for the exam. So here's an example of your e-ticket. That's what your e-ticket's going to look like. And there you continue. This is your AP ID. That's what you're going to put on the top of your documents, right? You'll need to spend a few minutes passing through various security filters to confirm your identity. A timer will show how much time remains until the start of the exam. So there you see it. Once the exam starts, the first exam question will automatically appear. Do not at any point refresh your browser. If you accidentally X out of your browser, don't flip out, just get right back in. Go back to your e-ticket, click back in, and it'll pick up and you'll be okay, but you'll be less the time that you lost. So just be careful with that stuff. Don't go back, don't refresh, okay? On the exam day, maybe I'll go back here. So when the exam starts, the first question will show, you'll open up your first document and you'll start typing in it. It'll flash red when it's 5 minutes left, copy, paste, submit. What's nice about this program is, a lot of times you click submit and it spins and spins and spins and waits. Since everybody across the country is taking this test at the exact same time, they wanted to make sure that you could move on while it was still doing that. So when you see that it still is, submitting, that's fine. When the 25 minutes is up, the next exam question will show up right away. So it's not a big deal. You can move on to the next question. You can open up the next document and start typing your next document as soon and it'll keep submitting that for you. So don't click refresh. Don't try to do anything else. Okay. Don't try to go back. Just understand that the system is taking care of it and just trust that it is. Okay. So here you see exam day on the right. This side here is you guys because you have 2 exams. So you use your e-ticket to check in 30 minutes prior, complete identity information, wait for exam to begin. 25 minutes, question 1 appears, 5 minutes, you submit the response, and then you wait for question 2. Question 2, you've got 15 minutes for, okay? And then you get the 5-minute notification and you submit that one. Now, do not shut down your browser while it's still submitting that last one. Just wait until, because you'll get a notification saying your exam's complete and we've received your submissions. So keep it open. Don't be like, I'm done, I'm out of here. Just leave it open, okay? You can go get some food, I don't care, but leave it open. Answering the questions, you may use spell check and grammar check, but these will not provide an advantage. We don't care. Like, I'm one of the readers. I'm actually grading them this year. Not yours, of course. But it doesn't matter if your grammar's bad, if your spelling's bad. None of that matters. Just get it on paper, man. If you've installed Grammarly, plug in, disable it, or the exam won't function. You may print the test questions and annotate them if you like. I think it's kind of a waste of time. You won't be able to move on to the second FRQ until the time for the first FRQ has fully elapsed. So let's say you kill that first FRQ and you're like, dude, I'm done in 20 minutes. Then you're waiting 5 minutes. Okay, so you don't get to move ahead. Bummer. It'd be nice to bank the time, but you can't. Once the time for the first question is finished, the second question will automatically appear. Once you submit a question, you can't go back to it. Again, don't refresh, don't go back. Managing your time. During the exam, you'll see a timer at the bottom of the screen. Oh, I thought it was at the top, sorry. Showing how much time remains to create and submit your response. Keep the timer visible. 5 minutes before time is up, the timer turns red. So you see that on the right. You'll see a pop-up reminding you to submit your response. Stop where you are and copy and paste or attach your work. If you want to use 1 minute of that time, go for it. But do not use like 3.5 minutes, man. Whew! The clumped, freaking me out. Then click submit. You can still earn a 5 even if you don't finish a response. If you don't submit your response on time, you won't get any credit for it. Repeating myself? Of course I am. Let's see. And let's say you run out of time and you don't submit, you don't get to make up the exam. They're not gonna, you don't get to appeal to them to make it up. The only way you get to make up an exam is if there was such technological problems that you didn't have the full time to take the test. And we'll talk about that in a second. Submitting responses is a 2-step process. Attaching or pasting your response and clicking submit. That's pretty easy. So you see right here, you paste your work right in here, and then you click submit. Wow. Or you browse for a file, attach it, submit. Or you upload a photo, and you'll probably have 5 photos. If you've got 5 pages, click submit. If you choose to handwrite, which is fine, each page will be submitted. You'll take a separate picture of each vertical page and then upload them separately. Again, that's going to take the full 5 minutes. If you don't click submit before the timer runs out, your response will not count. Once you click submit, your response may continue to transfer depending on your bandwidth. This is fine. You will be able to move on to the next question even while your first question continues. And you got that. I have already explained it. If your response continues to transfer after the exam ends, wait for an on-screen message confirming that your exam is complete. Make sure your submissions have fully loaded before you close your browser or turn off your computer, right? If you never see that your AP exam is complete message, you should go to cb.org/request makeup. This means something happened and it didn't get submitted. To explain the situation and request an e-ticket for the June makeup date. This may happen to some people. I'm praying you wonderful 24 people taking this test are not any of the people it happens to. But again, doing the demo ahead of time will absolutely reduce the chances that you're one of the people that happens to. Am I hitting that pretty hard? What could go wrong while I'm testing? If you accidentally close the browser, your device crashes, or you temporarily lose internet access, you can quickly click your exam e-ticket again to return to the exam. Continue the exam, and if you feel at the end of the exam that the disruption negatively impacted your performance, you can request approval to take the makeup exam at that site. During the exam, don't refresh your browser or hit the back arrow. Don't call. Customer service centers aren't open due to the pandemic. If you lost too much time to a technical problem, aren't able to connect to your exam, or experience some other serious disruption, you can go to that site and request a makeup exam. That's it. Okay, so today, this is all I need you to do is to, watch this, maybe even print this PowerPoint so that you can kind of read it over and write notes where you need to. I also want you, I will post the demo tomorrow, but today print off the checklist and start filling that out so you have an idea of what's coming. Tomorrow you'll do the demo. I'm going to continue to give you the review sheets, and tomorrow I'll also give you the cram packet. Just continue preparing for the test. I'm not saying hours and hours every day. I mean, but keep your brain functioning. I know we've got 2 weeks till the test, and you know what happens over Christmas break. Your brain turns into mush. And let's face it, we haven't had in-person instruction in a while, so you might already be mushy. But I'm confident in your abilities on this test. I know you guys can do it. And I'm excited for you. I hope you're all doing well. I do miss you guys. You are such a good class. Anyway, take care. Please send me messages if you have any questions. I am here to help. And again, I'm going to be posting stuff. I'm going to try to finish posting like my messages to you before the 12th, because I know you're going to be tired of me. But on the 17th, I'm going to send you a message just to remind you and give you a little pep talk, getting you ready for the test. You can do it. Yay. Maybe I'll do a cheer. Ooh, yeah, I got it. All right. Good luck, guys. Take care.